in which I won. Where is the logic in you continually posting Lotto algorithms, yet do not win? Well, good question. Do not win. Oh, what's this? £180. 2 messages. Oh, let's see what that says. Do not win. Oh, it looks like I've won £120 on that one, and another £60 on that one. So, yeah, do not win. Don't I win? It's interesting that, £180. And also, I've just finished reading this book. Very good book. Highly recommended. Now, since you asked this question 2 months ago, I noticed that 2 months ago I started keeping track of all the tickets that I spend money on the Lotto and the Lotto lot picks, and I've kept track of my balance. And over the last 16 draws, you can see that I've spent a total of £152. So my balance has slowly gone down until I got to draw 2585, and then I won 12 quid on number 41. Now, why would I bet on number 41? Let's have a look at the analysis for that draw. 2585. Why would I bet on 41? Let's have a look. Oh, look. Because it was most overdue for its frequency. Most overdue, and most overdue for the machine that was being used at that time. So let's have a look at that on the chart. So in draw 2585, this is what the main chart looked like. This line is the average height of the chart, and oh look, 41 is above that average, so it's pretty obvious that was the most outstanding number. That's why I bet on number 41 in that draw, because it was most outstanding. So I won £12 in that draw, and then you notice that I've been putting this pair on. Where is it? 21 and 56. There it is again. Now, why would I put 21 and 56 on repeatedly? Oh, that's why, because I won £180. Now, why would I bet on those two numbers? Well, let's have a look at the analysis for the most recent draw in which I won on that 2-number dot pick. This is why, because 56 and 21 both most overdue for the frequencies with each other. In other words, it's a mutual pair. In fact, it's the 7th ranking mutual pair and 10th ranking pair. But why would I bet on that pair instead of one that's got a higher rank, or mutual pair with a higher rank? Why would I bet on that one? Well, good question. You see, I also bet on 2 other pairs, which are these 2. But I also bet on this one. Now, why would I bet on these 3 specifically instead of just the top 3? Well, this is why. Because when you analyse the pairs and compare the relative positions on a chart looking just at the most outstanding pairs, you can see pair number 10 was the second most outstanding on that chart. Or in other words, the area under it was the second largest, second to only this one. So the 10 franking pair was actually second most outstanding on the pair chart. And as you can see, the most outstanding one was the highest ranking pair. The second most outstanding one was the 10th ranking pair, and the third most outstanding one was the second ranking pair. So that's why I bet on these three pairs. And so that's why I won £180. Now, I normally tell people that I win on average about £1 per draw. So rather than just say that in response to this comment, I thought I'd actually measure it. And it turns out I'm now 28 quid up. And if you divide 28 quid by 16 draws, that's an average of £1.75 per draw. So when I say that I win £1 a draw on average, that's pretty modest, to be honest. So I was going to update this. The last updated draw 2587, but before I update it to 2588, I just wanted to show you, why I picked that pair, where it was on the pair chart. And if we look at the main chart, see, this is where the numbers were. None of them really standing out. But because I bet on that most outstanding pair, made a profit. It's interesting, if you look at the analyzer, there's all these numbers on the main chart. These are ones that stand out. Ones that stand out with the machine, with the set of balls, and with the machine and set of balls. They're the numbers that stood out, but none of those numbers were drawn. And if you look at the numbers that I bet on, I didn't bet on any of those numbers either, except 21. Although it doesn't stand out on there. So, sometimes you have to do things that are counterintuitive. So that's the analysis for the most recent draw. Now, let's see what the chart looks like now. So that's the most recent result at the bottom. And that's what it now looks like. So, to update, what I do is come out of coincidence mode, add the values, and I don't analyse any draw. And this is now a summary of the main chart as it is now. And as you can see, there is a consistent pattern in what machines and what sets of balls they use, and if you follow the pattern you can see the next one's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, so it's going to be set 2, alpha 4 times, milling 4 times, alpha 4 times, milling 4 times, next it's going to be alpha. So the machine's going to be alpha, the set of balls is going to be 2. So okay, so this is the summary of the chart for alpha, summary of the chart for set 2 and alpha and 2 combined. So you can see which number stands out most. So I'll just show you what those charts look like. So that's the main chart. That's the chart for alpha. Obviously you can see that number 6 is most overdue. It's also least frequent, but it's well above the average chart height. Notice 41 still stands out as most overdue for its frequency on that chart, despite the fact that it came out with a different machine quite recently. Now looking at set 2, got 7 most frequent, 2 most overdue. It's above the average chart height, but the one that's most overdue for its frequency is 15. And if we look at alpha and set 2 combined, then we get this chart, and then the only one that stands out on that is 15. And so that's what these sections of the analyzer are summarising, and then these numbers at the side, these are the values. So this represents like the area of the rectangle, the height, the width. So I'm going to update this now, and to update it what I do is I just look at the most recent numbers, look up the values. This is the area of that number on that number's chart. So what I do is I look up the new values, and then I update the old values, and as you notice it automatically works out the rank of the pairs. So 21 used to be 56 that stood out with it, now it's 14. So that pair, 14 and 21, is now a mutual pair. So we've got 14 and 21 there. And that's a mutual pair. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue updating this, and then I'm going to update the pairs chart, and then I'll show you what it looks like. So while I'm doing that, I'm just going to pause the video. Okay, so now this section's updated, and I'm just going to show you what I have to do to update this monstrous pairs chart. See, I have to go down this list and then find the pairs that I have to swap around. So you can see I've got to swap these ones. And so what I do is I take the frequency and recency of this pair, and then I replace it with this one, and then I update this one, so now they have swapped places. So this side now matches that side. And then I go down the list and then I find the next one that I have to match up. So I've got to rearrange these ones now. So I'm just going to pause the video again while I go down this list and rearrange all these pairs. Okay, so that's updated now. Let's have a look at the new pairs chart. So top ranking pair stands out the most. Then after that it goes 2, 3, 4. Now let's have a look on the analyzer. So the top four ranking pairs are the top 4 most outstanding pairs on the pairs chart. The only difference is 3 and 4 are the other way around. So on the pairs chart it goes like this: 1, 2, then 4, then 3. So those are the best 2 number hot picks to bet on at the moment, which are these top 4 most outstanding mutual pairs. And I think that's just about it for this video. So good luck with your gambling. And there's my balance proving that you're wrong. I do win. And I'm going to send you a link to this video.